Laser and charged particle beam weapons.
Hello everyone! So first, as always, let me know how the audio sounds. If it's too loud, too quiet. Interesting beats they are putting on this time. How is everyone doing? How is your day slash morning slash evening slash anything you have right now? Wait a sec. Hey. Hello. Welcome, welcome. But, oh, what's going on, Mara? If you don't mind me asking. Let's keep this open. Hopefully this time it's going to be without some stutters. My friend betrayed me. Aww, I'm sorry to hear that. But hey, if they betrayed you, they didn't deserve you as a friend anyway, so... I know it stings right now, but... in the long run, it might be a good thing to... at first get apology from them, and then take scissors and cut that line. Because if someone is able to betray you, especially a friend, then they are not worth having as a friend. Got used by my classmates. Ah, that sucks. Like, there are many things that sucks, but especially if it's like in a friend group or in a group where you are often, which obviously class is. Yeah, that sucks. Hope it's going to get resolved soon, and stay strong. Don't let them walk all over you. And hopefully you will come to different thoughts during the stream. That would be nice if that happened. So, what did I wanted to talk about at first before we get into the list, into the section E and forward? I'm not sure how long this stream is going to be because I am currently fighting for my own in the house because my mom is on a rehabilitation trip, let's say. I just read Matsuhana. A good one, I hope. You broke someone's arm? I hope it's the friend who betrayed you, at least. I shouldn't condone violence, but like, sometimes it's just like, you know. Yeah? Okay. In that case, I condone. But don't say anyone I said that, okay? Don't say it to the YouTube overlords. They wouldn't be happy about that. But hey, a little violence is good sometimes, so... But you don't have it from me, okay? Yeah, so I'm fending for myself right now for the next 3 weeks, which is going to be an interesting thing because I've never been here alone for so long. And I have some things I need to do before I go to sleep, so... And I would like to see while doing it, so... I don't know, I think we will go like an hour again, and then we will see. Depends on how much traffic is going to be here. Anything else I wanted to talk about before we jump right into the list? Probably not. Probably not. Yeah. I was just amusing myself a bit with the video that came out today, the Dasha birthday special, which, by the way, was the fastest created video I've ever done. Like, I wrote it yesterday in the evening, and I had it done today, and it came out today. So, yeah, the fastest created video. It was short, to be fair. It was just how many? 12 minutes, I think, and it had like over 8,000 characters in the end, which isn't that much, but yeah, still I think it was wholesome. Well, I think I sure hope so. Poor Daisho. He deserves some fluff after all that crap I threw on him. Okay, I'll put the microphone a bit away so I don't... so the sound is good. Yeah, so paradoxically, I thought I will write myself out of Terusho brain rot. Paradoxically, I just wrote myself into Terusho brain rot, which they currently share with Enotana. Surprising combination. I didn't expect them to be on the same level at some point, but yeah, it is what it is. So today we are technically looking for some interesting prompts for both Terusho and Enotana. So keep an eye on that. And I'm going to look for the notebook I had last time. It should be this one. Yes. So much stuff. So much stuff. Okay. So we have some from last time, which is great. I'm not going to lie, I didn't get to them yet. So they are still in the form of prompts. I will get to it later. I promise. I watched a reaction video of Kyohaba where Yahaba pins Kyunari to the wall. I mean, that's canon, so... yeah, in my version it would be the other way around. Theoretically, I don't think Kyotani would do that since you know Yahaba and his double SA and all that stuff. So, but I wanted to do a challenge like pin your partner to the surface, like wall, couch, blah blah blah. So I might get to that at some point. It was amazing. Thank you, Lily. I'm glad to hear that. Oh no, I chose Sekulov last time. Yes, I still have it. It was the be careful what you wish for. That's going to be fun. I just have to figure out what Lev could say to fit into the prompt, but hey, I will figure something out. So let me switch the cameras and we can get right into it so I don't bore you to death. This time I actually have a functioning chat. Not this thing, this thing. Okay. Okay, first things first, I need to rework my space here because I can't fit. Which is a story of my life, but currently it's kind of annoying. I love the red light so much. Like the story red light? Or some other red lights. Apologies if I will be a bit slower in heads right now or during this stream. Not that I'm tired, but I have a tendency to wake up very early these days, especially, well, it's summer. I hate summer. And even though it's not hot yet enough for me to mind overnight, it's light very soon in the morning, very early. And I tend to wake up very early because of that. And yeah, I'm slightly tired. Okay. Posting song lyrics again. Anyway, last time we ended up with dying in their arms. By the way, if you are here for the first time in case and you haven't seen the first stream we did of this, I will go through the all 450, 80, I don't know how many prompts, and I will stop by some and explain in case it needs explaining. And if something catches your attention, let me know. If you have some story idea or if some prompt sparks a story idea and you have a ship for that, let me know. I will write it down and at some point I will also make it into a video. So. I think Lily is a nice name. But I guess it's like, it's very uncommon in my country, so I don't think I know anyone named Lily or Lillian or any abbreviation. Anyway, let's get into the angst and whoomp. So, we have ear injury, that's classics. It can... I'm thinking how much hurt you can cause with this, and technically you can go for like cutting off the ear, which causes pain, but in the long run it's not that bad. You just don't have ear, but maybe it a little bit influences your hearing, but overall if you cut just the outside it's not that bad. But if you, for example, puncture a eardrum, then there's a problem. And it's really painful, and it can heavily influence your hearing. Like, you can lose hearing in that ear. So, there are multiple reasons for punctured eardrum, like pressure or just sticking something in the ear. On purpose or on accident, doesn't matter. A good thing. I mind reading the video. Yeah, that's going to be here quite often, I would say. Pierce and I through it. Yeah. Very easy. And it's easy to get to brain through that, by the way. You don't have to get to brain through your temple. You can go through ear or behind ear, because there are like soft parts and there are hollow parts. So very easily to kill someone like that. Yeah. Okay, so ear injury. I don't have idea for that yet. But it's an interesting one, definitely. Eating disorder, I have for Kyohaba. I talked about it the last time when we hit body image issues, I think, or something like that. Yeah, so that's going to be Kyohaba. No killing, please. I'm not yet sure how I'm going to go about major character death, but yeah, we will see. I will put warnings on the major character death if there are going to be any, so no worries. I learned here so much. Hey, you don't have it from me, okay? Electrical outage. Normal thing. I don't think it needs any sort of explanation. The electrical outage itself isn't the thing that's going to hurt. It's the things that happen during the electrical outage, because it can go from home invasion to just falling somewhere during the outage because you can't see, nyctophobia. What else? Yeah, there is a lot of stuff that can go wrong during electrical outage. And so that's the part that's going to hurt, not the outage itself. My English is so bad. Hey, no, don't worry. Don't worry about that. I understand a lot. And like, my English isn't on like star level anyway. So don't worry about that at all. Electrocution, that's another thing. Yeah, it can be on purpose, it can be on accident. On accident is when you accidentally touch something. You can get electrocuted even when you are changing a light bulb. So, or if you accidentally touch some cable, ungrounded cable. So, it can be on accident, or you can have someone electrocute you. Of course. I'm not sure about the exact number, but it takes a really low voltage to stop heart. So, by the way, pro tip into life, be very careful with electricity. Like, we are not even talking like lightning bolt, but a stupid cable can kill you very easily. So, careful with that. As soon as I go to buff, I miss the start. Hello. Hi, Alyssa. Sorry. I actually wanted to start a bit earlier, but I had a lengthy call with my mom So unfortunately I couldn't start earlier, but hey, we didn't get that far yet. We went through, what, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 entries, so you didn't miss that much. I'm from Germany and 13. Hey, enough time to learn. Take this as a learning experience. Hey, no one is going to laugh at you for your English. I have viewers from all around the world. Like, I'm not a native English speaker either, so I'm not going to judge. Definitely. Ireland. Philippines and UK. Yeah, see? All around the world. Even though, like, the most are from US, according to YouTube statistics. Okay, I think I will put on the lights already because it's getting dark. Wait a sec. Let there be light. That probably doesn't help much, but hey, at least something. US, Germany. A lot of Germans. I have a lot of Germans among my viewers. I'm surprised. Greetings to my neighbors. Alrighty then, let's go on. Empty shell. That's something I am looking forward to, but that's more of a aftermath of Womb than like actual Womb. It's basically when a character goes through some heavy trauma and they come back and they are nothing like they used to be. Because obviously they went through a trauma. It doesn't have to happen, of course. Even in real life, we are not talking just characters here, because everyone reacts to trauma differently, which is a reason why I am very, very pissed and skeptical about all those, like, body language experts and these kind of experts making calls on people like, you are not mourning like you are supposed to. Like, what does that even mean? Because, example, myself, when something bad happens in my life, for example, when my grandma died when I was at home and I was doing CPR and all that stuff, it wasn't the best day of my life, definitely. Like, my reaction to it is to pretend like nothing happened. Like, just shut it out. That's a solid reaction. And it doesn't mean that I am a psychopath. Or that I would be a murderer or something like that. Or that I don't mourn in the right way. Like, reaction to trauma is very person-based. So, if you hear someone talking about how this person isn't acting as he is supposed to, don't listen to that, it's bullshit. Quite a common reaction in my opinion. Yeah, definitely. Like, I know a lot of people who react the same way. Or not a lot of, but I have people in my life who react exactly the same way. So, just because someone isn't crying their eyes out doesn't mean they didn't go through something sad. So don't judge people based on their emotions after traumatic experience. I would be thinking now she's looking down at us, but it's my boss. I think we learn about bereavement in psychology. It's very common. And trauma response. Yeah. Like, honestly, everyone should take a class on psychology at some point in their lives. Though it's true that a lot of things that are taught right now are pretty outdated. So, yeah. I don't want to say it's risk and reward, but like... you have to wait out stuff a bit. Yeah. Alright. Okay, so empty shell. Character comes back and, for example, they are just sitting somewhere and staring. That's pretty common portrayal of empty shell. Or they're just walking around without purpose. That's a trauma response. So it's more of an aftermath than actual wound, but I'm sure I can use it somewhere without problem. I'm here and late. Welcome, Kenjiro. Hello. I can barely spell, so I find English hard even though I speak it every day and I'm 17. Hey, happens. As I said, no judgment here. In Germany, we still have the Haikyuu on Netflix. Hey, I'm currently watching Haikyuu only through reactions. I don't even care that much that it's not on Netflix. I've been taught to take a class cause how often people can manipulate me. That's the thing. I'm not sure if a class will help you with that. Like... okay, coaching is a bad word, but... I guess it depends what kind of class. But yeah, it is something that can be learned. I decided to deal with that in my own way, and I became antisocial. Okay, I didn't become antisocial. I was always antisocial. Yeah, you know what I mean. Exclusion / rejection. I'm not sure why these two are on the same level, because in my personal feeling, they mean different things. Because like rejection can be just, okay, I don't like you the way you do, so I reject you. Or I reject... you don't even have to reject like feelings or other people. You can reject something, for example, food. You can reject food, even from your stomach, and throw up. That's also rejection, technically. And exclusion is something utterly different. That's going to be easy, I would say, but I will probably have to go back in time and go pre-time skip for this one. That could be good, because exclusion is like you are excluded from a collective. I don't know, class, for example. So I think I will put these two as separate entries, because they mean something different to me. I have a question. Is Semishira common? Like a common ship? Not necessarily. They are less common than Kyohaba, if I remember correctly, the last time I saw stats from AO3. Same, I can't understand my feelings when both my dog and granddad died and couldn't cry or anything. Yeah, that's also a response. Like, we as people have such a complex emotions, we usually don't understand like half of it, at least. So don't let anyone tell you that you are reacting in a bad way or that you are reacting wrong. because that's not something that exists. I think Semishira is a common ship, but its portrayal isn't very frequent or always good. Yeah, okay. Like, Semishira is the most popular ship for both Shirabu and Semi. In this way, it's common for the characters. But yeah, there tend to be some toxicity in that from Shirabu's side usually, because he's a little brat, but he's a sweet brat, so why would you do that? But yeah, it's not that bad as with some other characters, so I don't usually... It's been quite some time since I've seen toxic Semishira, so... I think I saw a video where it was called Shirasame, no offense, but hey, some people just prefer Shirabu on top. Why not? I am... The way I write, I leave it up to your interpretation. I have my preferences for the top-bottom dynamics, but since they are not doing anything sex-related, why would I care? Who do you prefer as top or bottom? Nothing is canon, everything is headcanon, so arguing about that is stupid. And attacking at other people because of that is stupid too. So everything is up to your interpretation. That's also why I don't do like the tops, pranks, bottoms and all that stuff. So everything is up to you in that case. As I said, I have my own preferences, very like set in stone. The only ship where I can see change, like see them as not switches, but the other word that's correct for this one, I don't remember, is Kawagata. Even though I prefer Taichi to be a bottom, I don't mind when he tops, but that's probably the only ship I don't have like solid preferences for that. But either way, everything else is up to your interpretation. I don't care. Yeah, okay. Alright, so exclusion, rejection. I will make a note here. Okay. Alright, so exposure. That's... I was looking at it and it's usually a thing of exposure to some element. So yeah, cold, heat, and what was the life burial? Oh hey, red torture. Do you know what red torture is? That's a fun one. Restraint, yeah. Exposing victims to the elements. Oh, this one. Okay. Yeah, okay, I get it. That's a cruel one. I like more the exposure to cold/heat than the life burial. But hey, it could be interesting. So basically, in case you didn't catch it, the life burial is that you restrain the person in nature in a way that they are going to slowly die, and usually because of elements and wild animals. So that's life burial. Exposure to cold, you push someone outside when it's blizzard, for example. So yeah, that's a solid one. Do you want to hear about red torture, or do you want to keep the food in your stomach? No, it's not that bad, but It's an interesting torture method, but we don't have to talk about it if you don't want to. So that's optional. It's called emotional numbness. It's unconscious response to sudden and or heavy trauma because of the situation. It is used as protective mechanism of the body. Yeah, that's also why some people faint when they get bad news, because their brains just shut down to protect itself from the bad news. Fun fact. I don't know what red torch means. Okay, so red torture is something that was used to in Middle Ages. It's actually a very simple method, but I always wonder how people came up with that. And it's basically that you lay the person down and you put a rat, normal rat, in a cage on the person's stomach, and above the cage, like the cage doesn't have bottom, so the rat is tapping around on the person's stomach. And on top of that cage is a source of heat. I don't know, fire, for example. So the rat is trying to get away from that heat, but the only way it can get away from that heat is down. So it starts to dig into the person's skin and through the person's stomach. How people figure that out and how they came up with that is completely beyond me, but it's an interesting one. By the way, if you want to know more about torture technique, we can do a stream specifically for that, because I used to be very interested in like witch trials and all that stuff. I even did a school paper for that, like final paper in high school. So yeah, torture methods are my hobby. So in case you want to know more, I think we will hit some torture method in this too. So yeah, we will see what we find. I remember this now. I learned it at school by own research because the teacher wouldn't go further. I mean, fair. It's not necessarily a subject for school. But hey, we are out of school education. I can at least say I'm educational channel. Teaching people about torture methods. I hate rats. Very fair. Okay, hydration pause, and then we continue. Okay, so that was exposure. Ice cream. Don't mistake with ice cream. Is any injury to eyes, because eyes are something that's so vulnerable. You don't really think about that, but whenever something happens, you subconsciously protect your eyes, because that's the most vulnerable part on your head for the most part, because it's soft, squishy, and it's not protected by anything. And it hurts like hell to have injured eye. So it's a common horror trope to injure eyes, like, I don't know, needles, nails, whatever, or just plugging I think it's the word. Out eyes. Also a thing. So we will see what we can do about this one. Our teacher told us without hesitation. And some teachers are like that. We had a similarly natured teacher when I was in law school, like in uni for law, but he was great teacher. Like I loved the lessons with him. He was also a big fan of witch trials, so that was fun. That's probably the only regret I have for not finishing that school, because like some of the teachers or some of the professors were really cool. Some of them less, and some of them were straight up horrible, but like a few of them were really cool, and I miss that. Sorry, my other account stopped working. No worries. A law student, that's so cool. I finished 2 years from 5, so not that cool. Yeah. History of law in Rome broke my neck a bit. We weren't friends. I don't understand why it has to be taught, because like you don't use 99% of it right now. So what's the point? I understand like you have to understand the development, but why? I need a quick break. Yeah, no worries. Okay, so that was ice cream. Fainting. We had that, so that's probably going to go away. But it can be a part of something. Failure. Doesn't need explaining, I would say. Fake kill scare. That could be interesting, but I don't know how to put it. Because this is basically that a character is killed, in quotation marks, to force someone into submission, for example, or just to scare them. For whatever reason it may be. It can be gaining information, it can be just to manipulate that person. There is a lot of reasons. So that could be definitely interesting, and this is actually one that I think I will reveal as soon as someone hits it, unless someone comes up with an idea for that, because I want to know what that person is going to want for this one. Because there's so many options that I will drown in it. Still getting into a law school is hard to get, even if it's for a bit. It's still amazing. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I was proud of myself for getting into the law school, but yeah, it didn't work out, unfortunately. I need to go. Bye. Bye-bye. See you next time. Yeah, it could technically be a prank gone wrong, because I know one idiot on YouTube who did this as a prank. I don't know what his name was, but it was like friend killed in front of other friend. I don't know how that went, but I kind of remember that it destroyed the channel almost completely, or something like that. It destroyed its reputation, or because it's stupid. Why would you do that? So it could be done in a way like prank gone wrong. False friend. I don't think needs explaining. That's manipulation. Nothing more, nothing less. Why do parents think cleaning up is more important to do when you have a headache? I don't know. But I feel you. Falling from great height doesn't need explaining. Especially when you combine it with impalement, for example. Or falling from a cliff. We had that already with Iwaoi. So why not do it again? Falling is very nice way to induce whoop because so many things can go wrong. Like you can injure your legs, you can injure your spine, you can injure your head, you can injure everything. Depends on how high it is from when you are falling. So there is a lot of stuff. Or you can be really lucky. I remember a story when a guy survived fall from, how was it, 40 floors, I think? 20 or 40, I'm not sure, but it was like super high. And he survived that without, like, he had a lot of bones broken and all that, but he survived that somehow. So yeah, you can get lucky or you don't get lucky. YouTubers do have dumb ideas for content. Yeah, it's all about the clicks. Don't drink the Among Us potion at the end. Scary. I actually think that was the same guy who did the, like, calling whatever, I don't know, stupid thing at 3 AM. I think that was him. Or maybe that was another idiot. Who knows? I've seen a dog fall off a cliff, scared the hell out of me, and was relatively alright. Yeah, some people / animals are just lucky. Knowing me, I would break my legs falling from 2 meters. Knowing my luck, I will kill myself. My death is going to be stupid. I can already tell. With my luck... Whew. Okay, falling through ice. That's a nice one because that's connected to hypothermia. Which I think we have somewhere after this in the H section. So yeah, that's going to be fun. Because falling through ice is actually really scary. Because you fall through and you lose orientation if you are not trained for that. And if it's a surprise, so... At one point there is a hole above your head. And a second later it's suddenly not there. And you don't know what to do. And you are drowning, you are cold, and you are panicking. So, I have a friend who fell through ice. But, like... The only thing... not the only thing, but the most notable thing he always talks about is how a fish nibbled on his leg. So, he's fine. No worries. He's fine. Too much things to think about. Yeah. Fevers, that doesn't need any explaining. Financial trouble, that's probably going to be Kawagata. Because I don't think... Does any other ship have mentioned financial trouble except for Kawagata? Probably not. But it can be nicely connected to the whole... God damn it. How is it called? What did I give Taichi? The blood thing. Jesus Christ, I don't remember. My head is not functioning right now. What was that? Help me. I have arrived. Welcome, Elgato. Hemophilia. Thank you, Alyssa. yeah, it can be connected to Daiji's hemophilia because, as we know, the preventive measures are pretty expensive. So financial troubles is going to be Kawagata. Find the cure. That's for the most part when one character is dying for whatever reason, usually because of like either some illness or poison, and the other character / characters are trying to find the cure. Usually there's time pressure because obviously the character is dying. So that's a panicky one. More on the angst side than on womb side because you usually follow the one who, or you usually follow the person who is trying to find the cure rather than the one who is ill or poisoned. So that's more into angst territory than the womb one, but it could be interesting. Finger in the mail, that's a classic trope for kidnappings. You know, where the kidnappers just cut off the person they hold hostage finger and send it to the people they want money from, or just to threaten them, for example. It's kind of cartoonish. I don't know if people do that actually in real life. I hope not. Do you know how long the packages go through the post offices? Do you know how smelly it must be? Ugh. Nasty. Finger, that's a abbreviation from fingers and gore, which is cutting fingers, crushing fingers, all that nice stuff. First aid kit, classics, flashbacks. Again, this is more of a aftermath rather than the womb itself. But yeah, can be used in combination with something. Flashbacks, but family backstory ones with Samishira. Can be done. If you have a concrete idea, let me know. Imagine the poor mailman finding out he was mailing a finger. I think he would know by the smell. Like it's... Okay, depends on weather. And it's hot. Human body decomposes pretty fast. So, depends. I find it hard to read everything. Am I the only one who doesn't understand a word right now? As if the microphone isn't picking my voice, or am I speaking too fast, or what's wrong? It should be okay. Ah, internet bad. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. Flinching. We had that right now. So that's probably going to go away as a prompt on its own. Flooding. From what I understand, this one, it's just water. Floods. It doesn't have to be. It can be like memories flooding or like usually bad memories flooding, but for the most part it's water. What is force to back? I will get to that. I have dyslexia, so I have trouble reading and understanding. No worries. Water is my enemy. Happy Disability Pride Month, by the way. Nerdy Nekomako posted a community post about it. Really? I didn't know that exists. You learn something new every day. Food poisoning, that doesn't need explanation, I would say. That's a classic one. I can also write from my own experience for this one. Unfortunately, my stomach doesn't like me too much. So yeah, the funny events happen sometimes. Force feeding. I think there's supposed to be forced feeding, not force feeding. Yeah, you force someone to eat, but in the way, like, not that you push a plate in front of them and say, you are going to sit there until you eat that. That's also there somewhere, but under a different prompt. This is actually like taking the food and either you can just push it into the person's mouth and down their throat, or you actually like stuff a tube down their throat and force feed them this way. It's very unpleasant. Anyone who had tube shoved down their throat for whatever reason probably knows that. And especially because this is not a gentle procedure. Even if it's supposed to be in a hospital. But when it's for torture purposes, it's very unpleasant. It's also kind of unpleasant to look at when it's like a image, for example. So that could be interesting. I'm thinking how that could be done. We must team up to get rid of fools. No, leave fools alone. Forgetting to eat. We are not there yet. You are too forward, Elgato. Slow down. I can kind of see Osasuna there. I am too into the time skip there. Which one? Force feeding? I mean, that's a thing that can be done for anyone, so... I have to go in 5 minutes. Okay. For which you can see Osasuna, tell me. Forced out of the closet. When we were speaking about the Pride Month, by the way, yeah, that's when someone forcefully outs another person. It doesn't have to be with malicious intent, but because we are in a womb list, it's going to be with malicious intent. And that's for the ships that I had canon with homophobic parents. So that's going to be fun. I remember choking on a tube because I couldn't eat after treatment. It sucks. Yeah. Fortunately, I don't have personal experience with that. And I hope I will never have. Because I hate anyone coming close to my throat or anything. Like, I don't know. Even jewelry. I don't like having something around my throat or near my throat. Especially not inside. There was this time I choked on a vegetable. I used to choke on candy quite a lot of time. Because I was an idiot who couldn't swallow properly. Yeah, never again. I was outed once for my homophobic aunt. She wasn't happy. Cousin outed me. Yeah, that sucks, especially when it's from a family. Like, they are the people you should be able to trust the most in the world. But sometimes they just aren't. And it sucks big time. I think more for forgetting to eat. You are too fast. We are not there yet. I'm so late now. Don't worry, Zumi. You can watch it back after we end this. Welcome, by the way. Okay, forced out of the closet. Forced prize fight. That's just forcing someone to fight for, I don't know, saving other character or getting something that was taken from them, something precious to them. So, yeah. Not sure how that would work in the non-fantasy setting, but I will figure something out. Forced to back. Normal stuff. Usually combined with, I don't know, forced to watch or held at gunpoint, for example. Usually done through having a leverage on the character when, for example, you have someone's loved one holding on gunpoint and you force the other person to beg for their life. Or even if you hold someone on gunpoint and you force that person to beg for their life, also can be done. Oh, my family is homophobic and it sucks because of me being a lesbian. Yeah, oof. All strength to you, honestly, with this kind of family. It always sucks when, like... Okay, unconditional love is not always a good thing. But it should be a thing when it's about something you can't control, like your sexual orientation. Because, like, what are you supposed to do with that? It's who you are. You are not going to change that by anything. It's frustrating. I understand that. I very much understand that. Like, I am having a difficult time with convincing people around me that I'm an ace. I'm asexual. I can't imagine how much worse it would be if I was, I don't know, lesbian, bisexual, pan, whatever. Like, that. Me deciding to do 3 lyric pranks for practice videos before I start the theme park series. You do you. If it helps you get into a mood for writing, go ahead. A family should love their child conditionally. They chose to have them no matter what and love them. It doesn't make sense why they would be mad at their child for having a different belief. Yeah, exactly. As I said, especially since it's something you can't change. It's sexual orientation. You weren't born with that. I know I'm horrible at explaining my thoughts, but you know what I mean. I'm frustrated on your behalf. You can't control sexuality disorders, etc. Yeah, exactly. I have 2 disorders, I think, excluding major depressive disorder. I'm getting therapy or a psychiatrist when I come back, which is in a week. That's awesome. Like, every person should have access to therapy when they need that. And the fact that getting a therapy is so not necessarily taboo, but it's like frowned upon for whatever reason. Like, why? When you need help, you go to the person who can help you. I'm going to quote Click. Like, if you have problem with your car, you go to auto mechanic or car mechanic. If you have troubles in your head, you go to psychiatrist. That should be viewed as normal. God damn it. They say it's just the face or just chose to ignore it. Yeah. Everything is just a face if it's not up their alley. It's stupid. Everything about homophobia is just stupid. I have obedience defines disorder. That's actually the first time I hear about this. If you don't mind, can you tell me more? I'm curious. It took me 3 years, including this year, to get my mom into that. Honestly, my whole life I thought my mom was nice, but this year finally she tries to understand. That's nice. That's good to hear that she at least tries to understand. Like, I'm trying not to make this about me, but yeah, when I say in front of my family / like close family friends that I could use therapy, not for disorders, but just for my overall mental state, which I'm not going to go into details of. They like, not necessarily that they don't believe me, but they are like, why would you do that? Why would you need that? Why would you need therapy? And I'm like, because my head is messed up. Like, I know that. I know about it. And I'm holding with everything I have, with my whole willpower, to keep it like somewhat normal. And they either laugh or they are just like, yeah, it's not that big of a deal. And I'm supposed to express myself more. Sucks. I have trouble doing what I'm told, and I have split personalities. Oh, okay. That's interesting. I'm going to have to look into that more. Purely from scientific thing. If you're wondering which two disorders I think I have, it's ADHD and dissociative identity disorder. Yeah. That's also a star combination. Like, the things our brains are able to come up with all the disorders that you can have. I'm no longer wondering how people can be such a messed up idea. I have to go, sorry. No worries. I hope you enjoyed the stream. See you next time. My co-host personality just can't control whatever she does and gets into trouble for it. That's another thing that's a thing that sucks about having the DID. Yeah, I can definitely see that when some of the personalities just don't have any borders and maintenance and all that stuff. I will have to take a look at DID a bit more. I, I said I will ask Hannah about it, which I should do. Because it's always good to ask someone who actually goes through that. Of course, if they are willing to talk about it. Like, you can't force someone to tell you about their trauma, dissociation, etc. So, yeah. But I need a bit more education on that topic. So, okay. How long are we going for the stream, by the way? An hour. Okay. Okay, let's finish the F part and then we can end this on a high note. My voice is leaving me too, so I think it's time. Okay, forced to hurt someone. That can go two ways. It can either go that you are forced to, or the character is forced to hurt someone they don't know to save someone they know, or they are forced to hurt someone they know for some reason. That's a bit more difficult to set up, but it can be done. I'm back now. Okay, I will see how long the... Okay, I think we will finish with the F and G, and then we will end the stream. Because the G is short, so... I think that's enough whoop and disorders talk for today. Where were we? Okay, forced to kneel / bow. Again. All these, like forced to beg, forced to hurt someone, forced to kneel, forced to watch, all can be connected into one story. Or not. Doesn't have to be. Depends. But I don't think this needs an explanation. Forced to watch. That's usually connected with non-con. Not necessarily with torture, but it can be also done. But it's usually with non-con because that's also traumatic. Like, imagine having someone you love being forced upon by some stranger in front of your eyes and you can't do anything. So that's also into angst territory for the person who is forced to watch, and into womb territory for the victim one, or they are both victims, but the one that's getting hurt in whatever way. Okay, forcibly stripped. Again, can be connected to the forced to watch, can be connected to non-con, and can be connected to exposure, to usually to cold when used, or not you, but when a character is forcibly stripped and pushed into cold, for example. Can be done. Knowing me, I will end up connecting it to non-con because that's my favorite backstory to use. Forgetting to eat. Yeah, overworking and all that stuff. Unfortunately, one of my best friends suffers from this occasionally. She kind of destroyed herself with that, which is very sad. But yeah, all you can do is to remind them to eat or force them to eat. Not in the way that you shove the food down their throats, but yeah, you have to do that. Sameshira forgetting to eat. Yeah, I also have had Sameshira in mind. Or I can do Sameshira Kawagata, that could also work for them. It could technically go for all of them. So that's going to be an interesting one. I will probably have to toss a coin to decide which one of them is going to forget. They both have heavy and lots of errands, yeah. Sam trying to finish his piece. Yeah, could be, very well. Like, as I said, if I'm going to make it a Semi Shirakawa Gata, then Semi can forget to eat because of his music career, Shirabu can forget to eat because of his medical career, Hayato can be done because of practices, and Taichi just because I like to hurt him. As I said, I will toss a coin. Probably for this one. One of my faves, yeah. Samishira is cool. I like them. Framed. That's when you are accused of something you didn't do and you are put under fire for whatever thing that happened. Again, manipulation, but this is more of a aftermath of manipulation. Framed of cheating for Kinkuni. That could be interesting. I actually still have a old script of for Kinkuni getting hit on, which I still didn't use and probably not going to use, but I could use parts for that. Now let's go back to what that's Kinkuni and Dreadlock. This is going... If I'm going to do this, it's going to be more of a psychological angst than physical. Like a voodoo doll. I sadly like to hurt Ken. Favorite character. Yeah, it's always like that. The character you are usually hurting the most is for the most part your favorite, or like other way around. Your most favorite character is usually the one who you hurt the most. It's funny. Fractures, broken bones, classics. Friendly fire. I have an idea for that. I don't know which ship I'm going to use for this. So if someone chooses it, it's going to make things easier for me. I have an idea for that. Hello, party people. Hello, Leah. Okay, frostbite. That's a fun one. Pretty nasty one. I had frostbite once on my toes. Not fun. Definitely not fun. Again, connected to hypothermia, exposure to cold. So, can be done very easily. Gangrene. Oof. That's going to be a messy one. And not because gangrene is messy. Or not only. In case you don't know what that is, it's mostly... for the most part, it's infection of a wound. And that leads to all kinds of nasty stuff, like your flesh dying off, or it can lead to heart attack because I'm not sure if it's through bacteria or something like that, but it's infection and very nasty one. It's the thing when you... Well, you probably don't see that, but in case in some movie or something, when someone has like black part of their limb, for example, that's gangrene. when your flesh and skin just turns black, that's gangrene. Nasty infection smells like all hell. And yeah, it can kill you very easily if you leave it untreated to the point of developing gangrene. By the way, it's said that Tutankhamun died of gangrene because of a injury that healed badly. So, short history lesson. I love My Little Onion Boy so much, I always heard him when drawing. Yeah. Poor Kindachi. Frostbite. I know, like Yaku. Well, technically, Yaku is playing in Russia. So... Or it could be corrected to the plane crash I was planning last time. I'm getting ideas. Daisuga. I'm not sure about writing Daisuga, to be fair, because I wrote them twice and it's been like a year back. So I'm not so sure about that. Asanoya gangrene. Could be done. I think it's because of what hurts of Asanoya. Yeah. That could work. That could work. My pen is not working. Okay, gaslighting. For this one, I will have to make a research or do a research, because even though I know what it is, I don't fully grasp the concept of gaslighting. Like, I know what that means, I know what it is, but I don't know how to write it. Which is a shame, because it's super good and super frustrating to read, but in the good way. So I will need to do a research on gaslighting. Get it over with. That's when the character is injured by the villain of the story, and the villain is like hesitating for whatever reason, because the character thinks that they are going to get killed because they lost, but the villain is hesitating for whatever reason. It can be because they intend to keep the character alive for whatever reason. They need to ramble about their villainous plan. Whatever. So, it's usually the character that is injured or that lost who says that. So that could be an interesting one. Osasune and Gaslight. Could be done. I'm at that dance practice right now on my break. I'm exhausted. Yeah. I'm not surprised. Like, I love dancing, but for one, I look like a frog in a mixer when I dance. But hey, when I'm alone, it doesn't matter. But yeah, it's super exhausting. I remember my dance lessons when I was younger. If I get it over with, Oikawa as victim. Maybe. Maybe. I'll see. Maybe someone chooses it with a certain ship. Get well soon gift. Again, this is one of those that sound super sweet, but since it's on the bad things to happen list, it's the twisted version of it. Which, what I imagine under this is, for example, when the character is kidnapped, tortured, injured with malicious intent by someone else, and they get away from that person. They are somewhat healing for I don't know, in hospital, at home, and they get a gift from the person who tortured them, who injured them, who hurt them, and it says get well soon. And it's super scary for two reasons. One is because the trauma isn't gone, and second is that it's telling the character that their tormentor is still out there, still watching them, and they know where they are. So that's super scary on two fronts, and I can't wait to get to that one. I've actually read one of the very few Daisuga fakes I've read had this one. It was an interesting one. Asano again and Kinkonye the gift thingy, because why not? Happy voodoo torture session. Yeah. Bye bye Elgato. Nice seeing you again. Okay, let's finish the G's and then we will end this. So, Gilded Cage, I needed to put a Czech translation because I had no idea what that was. But it's basically when a character is held in a place where they have everything they can ask for. It's usually some ginormous mansion and they have everything. They have food, they have comfy bed, they have everything they want, but they can't go outside. They are just closed in this golden cage and they can't go out. I was thinking for who I would want to use that. Again, Kawagata came to mind, or Kyohaba came to mind. The characters I had canon as having very rich parents who are like either super controlling or super into their image. So one of those could go. I will see if someone asks for a different ship for this one, but probably it's going to be one of the two. Nerde Nekoma reference? Which? With which? Did they also have Get Well Soon gift? Or Gilded Cage? Straight up Rapunzel. Yeah, very much. Go Through Me. That's, if I'm not mistaken, when someone shields the other person with their body and just they will have to go through me to get to you. Did Hannah have a Gilded Cage? Really? In what story? I don't know. Going into hiding, I don't think needs explanation. Going into shock, that's after trauma reaction. Good intentions, bad results. Can be done very well. Can be done with, for example, like accidentally outing someone. Good intentions, bad results, very bad results. Or with whatever. Grabbed by the chin. That's actually, I'm exposing myself, but that's actually one of my all-time favorite things to write when I'm writing conflict. Usually with the villain, like grabbed by the chin. Just yank their chin up. That's a fun one. On the same level as grabbed by the hair. That's also fun. Anything manhandling is my favorite. I like that. Grief, mourning. Doesn't need explanation. Guilty conscience can be very well connected to the good intentions, bad results. Because usually when you have a person who does evil things, they don't feel guilty about it, if that's a villain we are talking about. But if they had good intentions but the results were bad and it, for example, resulted in someone dying, someone getting injured, of course the other person is going to have guilty conscience. So yeah, very easily to connect, very easy to connect. Gunshot wound doesn't need explanation. I think. Okay, so we are at the end of the G part, and we are going to be continuing, I don't know, at some point next week, probably. So, yeah. Oh, my throat is sore, my voice is gone, which is funny, because I actually had a brilliant idea of trying to become a voice actor, which is definitely not going to end up in fail, as usually my ideas end. But hey, you have to try it at least. So, switch the camera. Okay. Yeah. My back, my poor back. Yeah, so that's just a side note that I had a incredible idea of becoming a voice actor. I was recording a demo today. Fun stuff, very fun stuff. Especially since I had no idea how to do that. But hey, I put something together. I'm going to be working on another one. But yeah, so far I have like narration. I was thinking about including parts of the videos I already have as parts of the demos. I might do that. I will have to go through the videos and see if I have some good parts that could be used as like demo. And that's how all voice actors become after all. Not all, but I hear it quite often that they just like gave it a shot and somehow it worked out. The problem with me is that I'm not a native English speaker, so I have a Central European accent, and usually for the voice acting jobs they want like American accent or British accent. Oh hey, cat is here. Him? Are you going to come up? What? What, kitty cat? What? No? You don't want to? Come on. Kitty cat. Come up. Oh, yo. Yeah, so I have so many projects in mind for the summer. It's not even funny. Don't go into this. Because like it's the time of the year again when my brain just wants to create something outside of writing. And so I spent the whole evening yesterday, after I finished the Teru show thing, going through Pinterest and looking up ideas on some like artsy things I could do. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. Because for one, I am absolutely useless with my hands. Like all of my skill is here. So yeah, that's one thing. And the things that I would be able to do need expensive things. to make. So yeah, and I don't have money for that. So that's going to be an interesting summer, definitely, and plus the VAing, which I was thinking about it for quite some time already, but yeah, it didn't really come into fruition until now. So we will see how that will go. In case someone has friend like doing indie games or something and they need a voice actor, you can let me know. I would go into that. I would love to be a VA for some video game or something. That would be nice. When I was recording the demos, it went better than like voice acting a audiobook, because in audiobook you are switching between narration and the characters, and you usually have to somewhat change the voices for the characters. So if you have big cast, it's very difficult for one person to voice, but with the video games you usually have one character to voice. The thing is that I can't change voices too much. Like, I have my default, I can go up to some extent. I can't go too down. I don't know why, because I always thought like I have pretty deep voice, but then I listen to myself in the recordings and it's not that deep, so I suppose it makes sense why I can't go that deep. There are exercises for that, but yeah, I didn't get to it yet. So if I admire something about voice actors for video games and animes and all that stuff, it's the range they have, which I don't have. But hey, maybe I will train myself if it goes well. Who knows? Anyway, I think I talked enough for one stream. Hour and a half. I said hour, never mind. So, thank you so much for joining me in this stream slash going through the list of all the hurtful things I'm going to inflict on your favorite characters. Your slash mine. I just joined. I'm sorry, Leah, but I've been talking for over an hour and a half and my voice is gone, so I'm already getting raspy. So yeah, but I'm going to continue in the list in the next week. So we will see each other again. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today in the journey of hurtful things and for listening to my blabbering. And yeah, I will see you next time. Hopefully also without all the common issues that we have during streams. Have a great day, week, night, anything you have right now, and see you next time.